If you guys want to read the book, should I start a book club? Days corner. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Not my own. I like my. Okay, I said silence, but I kind of want to read out loud. We'll see. I like my life enough to want to see it through. I'm more focused on other people and how they ultimately make the decision to just end their own lives. Do they ever regret it in the moment after letting go and the second before they make impact? There has to be a little bit of remorse in that brief free fall. Do they look at the ground as it rushes towards them and think, oh crap, this was a bad idea? When they say every thought you have is just like, no thought is your own, you know? I can't remember that TikTok trend or whatever, but it's so true. Because babes. Anyway. I'm sorry, this plethora is throwing me off. Is that an actual place in Maine? Plethora? Okay. Or maybe it's plethora. Okay. Not blonde. I just remembered another book I love on Wattpad. Because she's also has red hair. But the book's called, damn. What, I can't remember the girl's name, but her love interest was called Eos. Eos. If I remember the book title, I'll put it in the video. When I tell you this book, oh my days. This book, yeah? That one. Yeah. Anyway. Back to this book. interjection. I didn't realise it was nighttime until she mentioned it was nighttime. I was imagining it being daytime. As soon as she said it was nighttime, it's like the lights turned off. Secondly, this dude kicking the chair, baby. What do you mean? Like, how she's describing, or how my brain is interpreting this description is, he's kicking the chair, it scoots. He walks up to the chair to kick it again, walks over to the chair to kick it again, because she's saying he's kicking the chair repeatedly and it's just scooting. So that means he has to be kicking. And if it, do you get what I mean? So that's kind of like, are you okay? Obviously not, but anyway, back to the chair. Sorry, in my head I just said ill to the passive aggressiveness. See, that's like the girl in the other book. She liked gardening. Okay. I have never done this recreational drug. Fun fact. Ew. Ew. She's not wrong. Okay, I need to preface, don't I? Because I won't even know what I'm talking about. The first ill was eyes drag across body. Second ill, what's your name? Third ill, oh no, third nod was I feel his voice in my stomach. Sorry, that was ill, but it was also true that, because sometimes there are voices or sounds where it's like, why did I feel the vibration everywhere? Do you get it? Like in my bones. I feel it in my bones. Yeah. Ooh. She said like butter. Interesting. Bro, he's proper waiting for that response. Sorry. Okay, I see. Now you know what he's thinking. Okay? He says, will you please get down from that? Will you please get down from there, Lily? Wait. Ciao. There's a lot of talking. Sorry. In these situations I read, we're not getting to chapter 2, by the way. I think that's... Yeah, we're not getting to chapter 2, by the way. I think that's quite obvious. Maybe next time I'll do a proper, like, silent bid. But for now, this kind of back and forth has never happened for me. Like, I don't, like, where someone will talk... Like, I'm not into the small talk stuff. So, I don't see... Like, I'm not bothered. Like, do you get what I mean? Where it's like, can you do this? Or what are you doing? Or questions are asked. It's always very, like... Maybe it's an English thing. People... Or maybe it's just an NPC thing. But, it'll be like... Someone will make a comment. And it's just... or like a yeah, like isn't that right, or like exactly, or that's what I was thinking, or like very much a call and response. Is not, but the call and response are a means to an end. There isn't a means to an end. Like there isn't. What am I trying to say? I could just stand there in silence and you could have the whole conversation by yourself, or there is no need for a rebuttal. There is no conversation. It's just. Anyways. I don't leave the house. Oh yeah, the long talking. You're a mere 3 inches from falling from your death. I've been around enough of that for one day. You're making me nervous, not to mention you're ruining my high. That just seems like a mouthful. There are. I just saw mentions and then the word literally just changed emotions in front of my eyes. Crazy. Oh wait, mentions right there. Motions for me to get down again, not to mention ruining that. Right. You're a cute one. Beautiful. Question, is this Atlas? Smells like money. Huh? Oh, several. Ew. What does that mean? His eyes crinkle in the corners as they follow me, and his lips seem to frown, even when they aren't. And his eyes aren't crinkling? When his eyes aren't following him? Following her? How should you tell the shirt's Burberry? Is it a t-shirt or a button-up that has Burberry all over it? Because, girl, what? I thought it was dark. It's pointless and drunk in itself. Why does that have to be the question? Sorry. She asked, was it a woman? Did she break your heart? You can reuse them. I don't know that. I've never noticed you before. That's because I don't live here. I point in the direction of my apartment. See that insurance building? Babes, why are you giving out your location to strange men? Girl. Yeah. I live in that building next to it. It's too short to see from here. It's only 3 stories tall. He's facing me again, resting his elbow on the ledge. If you live over there, why are you here? Your boyfriend live here or something? Boy, you don't stop. Anyways. She said it was cheap and amateurs pickup line. Girl, you started it. Oh, is it one of the... Oh, okay, it is a love triangle. It is a love triangle. It is a love triangle. Remember, romance. That's what this book is. Anyway. I don't get it. I pulled up Google Earth and found the closest apartment complex and a decent rooftop patio. How did you get into the building? Weird. You regards me with a smile. It's also been an hour since the last clip, and I cut off where the girls talking, or the guys talking about her being economical because she found a tall apartment building that she could just get to, and I don't know, I'm kind of confused. Also, I want to play. The game finished downloading, but I have no idea how to set up Warzone. Like, it's looking like you have to download battle passes and other stuff, and you need the game disc to play. But I thought it was free to play Warzone, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah. And my brother said he bought Cold War, the disc version, so I have a disc PS. So and I've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare for 1, so I don't know if that will help. But we'll see. Anyway, let me just get to the does this chapter end soon, because the video is gonna cut out and I really don't want it to. And I'm sorry about like the setting changing in the slightest or most obvious of ways. Oh, this chapter's long, bro, and I take long. I like stop and think, guys, I want to talk. I watched some of the video back. I like talking. It's fun. Okay. Let me just see what I can do. Also, that music in the back's probably going to get me in trouble, right? Hopefully not. Anyway, let's just go. Where did we leave off? Yeah, I was like, how did she get into the apartment building in the first place? That's weird. Anyway, she said, you have a nice roof, I tell him. I wanted some fresh air, someone to think. I pulled up Google Earth and found the closest apartment complex with a decent rooftop patio. At least you're economical, he says. That's a good quality to have. At least. I nod because I am economical and it is good, and it is a good quality to have. Why did you need fresh air, he asks. Because I buried my father today and gave an epically disastrous eulogy, and now I feel like I can't breathe. That's tough. I face forward again and slowly exhale. Can we just not talk for a little while? He seems a bit relieved that I asked for silence. He leans over the guys, sorry, first impressions, I miss reading so much. Like, I'm already fully engrossed. Like, when I had to stop, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to know what happens next. And then I'm thinking about how am I going to do this, because I want to read off camera too. Like, I don't want to have to wait. But if the camera's going to keep cutting out, or the film is going to stop filming, then I might end up having to stop midway, just to, like, you know, like mid-sentence. It's not going to be like a seamless, like, okay girls, we're stopping now at chapter 1, you know? But anyways, yeah. He stays like this for wait. Seems a bit relieved. He leans over the ledge and lets an arm dangle as he stares down at the street. I also wish I could have like the writing or the book, just the words just going in lines right next to me, so that you guys can read along too, because you're not feeling the emotions I'm feeling, like they're not resonating, because inside I'm like just having a jolly old time reading, and then when I'm watching it back, I'm like, bro, you can't see why I'm feeling, or you can't even see that feel. It's just there's a whole movie playing in my head. Okay, over the ledge and lets an arm dangle as he stares down at the street. He stays like this for a while, and I stare at him the entire time. He probably knows I'm staring, but he doesn't seem to care. The guy fell off this roof last month, he says. I would be annoyed at his lack of respect for my request for silence, but I'm kind of intrigued. Was it an accident? No one knows. It happened late in the evening. His wife said she was cooking dinner, and he told her he was coming up here to take some pictures of the sunset. He was a photographer. They think he was leaning over the ledge to get a shot of the skyline and he slipped. I look over the ledge, wondering how someone could possibly put themselves in a situation where they could fall by accident. But then I remember I was just straddling the ledge on the other side of the roof a few minutes ago. When my sister told me what happened, the only thing I could think about was whether or not he got the shot. I was hoping his camera didn't fall with him, because that would have been a real waste, you know? To die because you love of photography, but you didn't even get the final shot that cost you your life. This thought makes me laugh. I was just about to say, like, bro. Lol. Although I'm not sure I should have laughed at that. Do you always say exactly what's on your mind? Not to most people. This makes me smile. See, why do I want to smile before she's even started smiling, bruh? This is an atlas though, so it's like, I like that he doesn't even know me, but for whatever reason, I'm not considered most people to him. He rests his back against the ledge and folds his arms over his chest. Were you born here? I shake my head. No, moved here from Maine after I graduated college. He scrunches up his nose, and it's kind of hot. I can't. Okay, yes I can. I'm not myself. He scrunches up his nose, and it's kind of hot. Watching this guy dressed in his Burberry shirt with his $200 haircut, making silly faces. Wait, how does she says this? He scrunches up his nose, it's kind of hot. Watching this guy dressed in his Burberry shirt with his $200 haircut, making silly faces. How do people guesstimate how much I guess hair is expensive. But for guys, I thought it was cheap. Anyway, What do you mean, I ask him. The corner of his mouth curls up. The tourists treat you like a local. The tourists treat you like a local. The locals treat you like a tourist. I laugh. Wow, that's a very accurate description. I've been here 2 months. I'm not even purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. Oh, I was about to say that makes no sense. I've been here 2 months. I'm not even in purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. What brought you to Boston? My residency, and my sister lived here. He taps his foot and says, sorry, I'm getting mixed up in who's speaking right now. So you're in Boston. Oh, I missed the line. Ooh. He rests his back against the ledge and folds his arm over his chest. Were you born here? I shake my head. No, moved here from Maine after I graduated college. He scrunches up his nose and it's kind of hot, watching this guy dressed in a Burberry shirt with his $200 haircut, making silly faces. So you're born in Boston purgatory, huh? That's gotta suck. What do you mean? I ask him. The corner of his mouth curls up. The tourists treat you like a local, and the locals treat you like a tourist. I get it now. The corner of his mouth curls up. The tourists treat you like a local, the local treats you like a tourist. I laugh. Wow, that's a very accurate description. I've been here 2 months. I'm not even in purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. I've been here 2 months and I'm not even in purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. What brought you to Boston? I've been here 2 months and I'm not even in purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. You're in Boston purgatory, huh? That's gotta suck. What do you mean? Very accurate description. I've been here 2 months. I'm not even in purgatory yet, so you're doing better than I am. Huh? What brought you to Boston? My residency, and my sister live here. My residency, and my sister lives here. He taps his foot and says, right beneath. What brought you to Boston? What brought you to Boston? My residency, and my sister lives here. He taps his foot and says, right beneath us actually. Married a tech-savvy Bostonian, and they bought the entire top floor. I look down. The entire top floor. He nods. Lucky bastard works from home. Doesn't even have to change out of his pajamas and makes 7 figures a year. It's one of those type of books where you just... the information isn't just casually introduced. To me, that's very much... I need to get across to you guys that I'm rich. Or I know rich people. Or... you know what I mean? It's just... there's a way to do it, and there's a way where it's like, oh snap, he got money. This is just straight like, he got money. I'm trying to tell you he got money. Like, Burberry shirt. His hair cost a lot. His sister's married a man with money. Like, sorry, my brain's just... Lucky bastard works from home, doesn't even have to change, blah blah. Lucky bastard indeed. What kind of residency? Are you a doctor? He nods. Neurosurgeon. Less than a year left of my residency, and then it's official. Stylish, well-spoken, and smart, and smokes pot. If this were an SAT question, I would ask him which one didn't belong. Should doctors be smoking weed? He smirks, probably not. But if we didn't indulge on occasion, there would be a lot more of us taking the leap over these ledges. I can promise you that. He's facing forward, again with his chin resting on his arms. Sorry, I think it just became very clear that I don't know what residency means. I thought he meant residency meant like, because I live here. Oh, yeah. Interesting. He's facing forward again with his chin resting on his arms. His eyes are closed now, like he's enjoying the wind against his face. He doesn't look as intimidating like this. You want to know something that only the locals know? Of course, he says, bringing his attention back to me. I point to the east. See that building? The one with the green roof? He nods. There's a building behind it on Melcher. There's a house on top of the building, like a legit house, built right on the rooftop. You can't see it from here, You can't see it from the street, and the building is so tall that not many people even know about it. He looks impressed. Really? I nod. I saw it when I was searching Google Earth, so I looked it up. Apparently, a permit was granted for the construction in 1982. How cool would that be, to live in a house on top of a building? You get the whole roof to yourself, he says. I hadn't thought of that. If I owned it, I could plant gardens up there. I'd have an outlet. Who lives there, he asks. No one really knows. It's one of the great mysteries of Boston. He lives there. He laughs and then looks at me inquisitively. What's another great mystery of Boston? No, what's another great mystery of Boston? Your name. As soon as I say it, I slap my hand against my forehead. It sounded so much like a cheesy pickup line. The only thing I could do is laugh at myself. I feel like I should read in silence, guys. I always have this dilemma. I'm trying to play that in my head. Something about a house. House. What's another great mystery of Boston? Your name. Okay. He smiles. It's Ryle, he says. Ryle Kincaid. I sigh, sinking into myself. That's a really great name. Why do you sound so sad about it? Because I'd give anything for a great name. You don't like the name Lily? I tilt my head and cock an eyebrow. My last name is Bloom. He's quiet. I can feel him trying to hold back his pity. I know, it's awful. It's the name of a 2-year-old little girl, not a 23-year-old woman. Wait a minute. A 2-year-old girl will have the same name no matter how old she gets. Names aren't something we eventually grow out of, Lily Bloom. Unfortunately for me, I say. But what makes it even worse is that I absolutely love gardening. I love flowers, plants, growing things. It's my passion. It's always been my dream to open a florist shop. But I'm afraid if I did, people would think my desire was authentic. They would think I was trying to capitalize off my name and that being a florist isn't really my dream job. Huh? Who's gonna question? Anyway, maybe so, he says, but what's the matter? It doesn't, I suppose. And catch myself whispering, Lily Blooms, quietly. I can see him smiling a little bit. It really is a great name for a florist, but I have a master's degree in business. I'd be downgrading, don't you think? I work for the biggest marketing firm in Boston. Owning your own business isn't downgrading, he says. I raise an eyebrow. Unless it flops. He nods in agreement. Unless it flops. So what's your middle name, Lily Bloom? I groan, which makes him perk up. You mean it gets worse? I drop my head in my hands and nod. Rose. I shake my head. Worse. Oh, sorry. You mean it gets worse? I drop my head in my hands and nod. Rose? I shake my head. Worse. Violet? I wish. I cringe and then mutter. Blossom. There's a moment of silence. God damn, he says softly. Yeah, Blossom's my mother's middle name, and my parents thought it would be fate that their last names were synonymous. Synonyms. So of course when they had me, a flower was their first thought. Your parents must be real arseholes. One of them was, my father died this week. He glances at me. Nice try, I'm not falling for that. I'm serious, that's why I came up here tonight. I think I just needed a good cry. He stares at me suspiciously for a moment to make sure I'm not pulling his leg. He doesn't apologise for the blunder. Instead his eyes grow a little more curious, like his intrigue is actually authentic. Were you close? That's a hard question. I rest my chin on my arms, look down at the street again. I don't know, I say with a shrug. As his daughter I loved him, but as a human I hated him. I can feel him watching me for a moment, and then he says, I like that. You're honest. Your honesty. This is why I don't read out loud. He likes my honesty. I think I might be blushing. Girl. Tia. We're both quiet again for a while, and then he says, do you ever wish people were more transparent? How so? He picks a piece of chipped stucco. Stucco? I've never seen this word before. Or if I have, I haven't noticed it. Stucco. With his thumb until it breaks loose. He flicks it over the lead. Is that meant to be callus? like dead skin. Or I was assuming stucco is like debris from the weed. He flicks it over the ledge. I feel like everyone fakes who they really are. Everyone fakes who they really are, when deep down we're all equal amounts of screwed up. Some of us are just better at hiding it than others. Here we go. Either his high is setting in, or he's just very introspective. Either way, I'm okay with it. My favourite conversations are the ones with no real answers. I don't think being a little guarded is a negative thing, I say. Naked truths aren't always pretty. He stares at me for a moment. Naked truths, he repeats. I like that. He turns around and walks to the middle of the rooftop. He adjusts the back on one of the patio lounges behind me and lowers himself onto it. It's the kind you lie on. So he pulls his hand behind his head and looks up at the sky. I claim the one next to him and adjust it until I'm in the same position as him. Tell me a naked truth, Lily. Pertaining to what? I don't know. Something you aren't proud of. Something that will make me feel a little less screwed up on the inside. He's staring up at the sky, waiting on me to answer. My eyes follow the line of his jaw, the curve of his cheeks, the outline of his lips, his eyebrows, and drawn together in a contemplation. I don't understand why, but he seems to need conversation right now. I think about his question and try to find an honest answer. When I come up with one, I look away from him and back up to the sky. My father was abusive, not to me, to my mother. He would get so angry when they fought that sometimes he would hit her. When that happened, he would spend the next week or two making up for it. He would do things like buy her flowers or take us out to a nice dinner. Sometimes he would buy me stuff because he knew I hated it when they fought. When I was a kid, I found myself looking forward to the nights they would fight, because I knew if he hit her, the 2 weeks that would follow would be great. I paused. I'm not sure if I ever admitted that to myself. Of course, if I could, I would have made it to where he never touched her, but the abuse was inevitable with their marriage, and it became our norm. When I got older, I realised that nothing's something about it. When I got older, I realised that not doing something about it made me just as guilty. I spent most of my life hating him for being such a bad person, but I'm not sure I'm much better. Maybe we're both bad people. Ryle looks over at me with a thoughtful expression. Ryle looks over at me with a thoughtful expression. Lily, he says pointedly, there's no such thing as a bad people. We're all just people who sometimes do bad things. It's the cliches, bruh. They get to me. It's like, I know I'm reading a book, you know? So when they say it's like it was written in a book, it's, bruh, I'm reading the book that's been written in. Every time. Come on. I need some new material, girl. Like, not Colleen, but just in general. Like, I need something that's like, I am now going to carry this line for the rest of my life. Not that I could do any better, but you get what I mean. Anyway. I open my mouth to respond, but his words strike me silent. Okay. We're all just people who sometimes do bad things. I guess that's true in a way. No one is exclusively bad, nor is anyone exclusively good. Some are just forced to work harder at suppressing the bad. Your turn, I tell him. Based on his reaction, I think he might not want to play his own game. He sighs heavily and runs a hand through his hair. He opens his mouth to speak, but then clamps it shut again. He thinks for a bit, and then finally speaks. I watched a little boy die tonight. His voice is despondent. He was only 5 years old. He and his little brother found a gun in his parents' bedroom. The youngest brother was holding it, and it went off by accident. My stomach flips. Sorry, in my head, I just imagine someone being like, my stomach flips. I'm so sorry. Now is not the time. I think this may be a little too much truth for me. There was nothing that could be done by the time he made it to the operating table. Everyone around, nurses, other doctors, they all felt so sorry for the family. Those poor parents, they said. But when I had to walk into the waiting room and tell those parents that their child didn't make it, I didn't feel an ounce of sorrow for them. I wanted them to suffer. I wanted them to feel the weight of their ignorance for keeping a loaded gun within access of 2 innocent children. I wanted them to know that not only did they just lose a child, they just ruined the entire life of the one who accidentally pulled the trigger. Jesus Christ, I wasn't prepared for something so heavy. I can't even conceive how a family moves past that. That poor boy's brother, I say. I can't imagine what that's going to do to him, seeing something like that. Or I flick something off the knee of his jeans. It'll destroy him for life, that's what it'll do. I turn on my side to face him, lifting my head up onto my hand. Is it hard, seeing things like that every day? He gives his head a slight shake. It should be a lot harder, but the more I'm around death, the more it just becomes a part of life. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. He makes eye contact with me again. Give me another one, he says. I feel like mine was a little more twisted than yours. I disagree, but I tell him about the twisted thing I did a mere 12 hours ago. My mother asked me 2 days ago if I would deliver the eulogy at my father's funeral today. I told her I didn't feel comfortable, that I might be crying too hard to speak in front of a crowd. But that was a lie. I just didn't want to do it because I feel like eulogy should be delivered by those who respected the deceased. And I didn't much respect my father. Did you do it? Yeah, this morning. I sit up and pull my legs beneath me as I face him. Want to hear it? Absolutely, he smiles. Sorry, what was I going to say? I can't picture how they're lying down right now. Because they said it's a chair where you can lie down. I thought he was just doing this while sitting. But then she said she was on her side, so I'm like, girl, you're a little comfortable to be laying on your side next to a stranger. Like, strange man, like, yeah, he fine, but girl, it's been all but 10 minutes. But maybe I'm just picturing it wrong. Yeah. I fold my hands in my lap and inhale a breath. I had no idea what to say about an hour before the funeral. I told my mother I didn't want to do it. She said it was simple and that my father would have wanted me to do it. She said all I had to do was walk up to the podium and say 5 great things about my father. So, that's exactly what I did. Rye lifts him up onto his elbow, appearing even more interested. You can tell by the look on my face that it gets worse. Oh no, Lily. Oh no, Lily. Oh no, Lily. What did you do? Here, let me just reenact it for you. I stand up and walk around to the other side of my chair. I stand tall and act like I'm looking out over the same crowded room I was met with this morning. I clear my throat. Hello, my name is Lily Bloom, daughter of the late Andrew Bloom. Thank you all for joining us today as we mourn his loss. I wanted to take a moment to honour his life by sharing with you 5 great things about my father. The first thing. I look down at Rye and shrug. That's it. He sits up. What do you mean? I take a seat on my lounge chair and lie back down. I stood up there for 2 solid minutes without saying another word. There wasn't one great thing I could say about that man, so I just stared silently at the crowd till my mother realised what I was doing and had my uncle remove me from the podium. Rye tilts his head. Are you kidding me? You gave the anti-eulogy at your own father's funeral? I nod. I'm proud of it. I'm not proud of it, I don't think. I mean, if I had my way, he would have been a much better person, and I would have stood up there and talked for an hour. Rye lies back down. Wow, he says, shaking his head. You're kind of my hero. You just roasted a dead guy. That's tacky. Yeah, well, naked truths. I laugh. Your turn. I can't top that. I'm sure you could come close. I'm not sure I can. I roll my eyes. Yes, you can. Don't make me feel like the worst person out of the 2 of us. Tell me the most recent thought you've had that most people wouldn't say out loud. He pulls his hands up behind his head and looks me straight in the eye. Oh my god. Oh my god. My heart cannot. I don't care what person I need to pretend to be. I cannot. I know it was was coming, but like, I didn't think it was right then. I can't do this. I don't want to know what comes next. Mr. Sir, it's been 11 minutes. I'm scared for my life. I'm sorry. This is just hilarious because real life isn't real life. Do you get what I mean? Never have I ever. What? I don't know what to do. Is this what this... Ugh. Fudgesicles. I'm sorry. I'm a child. I'm not... This isn't for me. This isn't for me. This isn't for me. It's not for me. I'm supposed to be colouring. Okay? I'm supposed to be making clay. I'm meant to be... I was gonna say I'm meant to be shooting, but that's not any good either. But I meant to, you know? I'm just, in my head, I'm just reading the 3 bloody words. Okay. He pulls his hand behind his head and looks me straight in the eye. I want to... But he's not... No, that's not... I want to... Bad word. You. My mouth falls open. Then I clamp it shut again. Girl! Well, how old is he though? She said he looks several years older. And she let him know that she's 23. So he was like, green light, green light. But is it a green light for her? Yeah. But I mean, is it an actual? We'll see. We'll see. I think I might be speechless. He shoots me a look of innocence. You asked for the most recent thought, so I gave it to you. You're beautiful. I'm a guy. If you were into one-night stands, I would take you downstairs to my bedroom and I would... Bad word, you. We need to find a word for that because I can't act. I'm not doing that, okay? I don't want to see myself reading that. So, what am I talking about? We need to find, we need to find a nice words. So, because even the sweet way isn't sweet enough. It's makes me want to barf. So, I want... Okay, I could just say sleep. Sleep sounds so like negative. The bad word sounds naughty. And the sweet one sounds too sweet. I was going to say lay, but lay just sounds like also negative, but like dead. Sleep sounds weird to me. I'm reading into it too much, aren't I? I would take you downstairs to my bedroom and I would freak you. Ugh! These words aren't meant to be said out loud. I would take you downstairs and I would bleep you. I can't even look at him. His statement makes me feel a multitude of things all at once. Well, I'm not into one-night stands. I figured as much, he says. Your turn. He's so nonchalant, he acts as if he didn't just stun me into silence. See, this is stunning into silence. But what if I can't, I'm not gonna lie, I can read women. Men is hard. It's not hard, but it's like, there's so many different ways I can imagine what possibilities are running through your head, but which ones are actually like, it's like, I can't explain it. There's like, face value is simple, but the inner workings of like the facial expression, I can't ever see through. I can't. It depends. Like, this is their nerves trapped behind the. It's like, bro, did I actually say that? Or did I? Stop. Let me just stop. Forget that. I need a minute to regroup after that one, I say with a laugh. I try to think of something with a little shock value, but I can't get over the fact that he just said that to me. Out loud. Maybe because he's a neurosurgeon and I've never pictured someone so educating throwing around the word F, throwing around the word bleep so casually. I gather myself somewhat and then say, okay, since we're on the subject, the first guy I ever slept with was homeless. He perks up and faces me. Oh, I'm gonna need more on this story. Oh, I'm gonna need more of this story. I stretch my arm out and rest my head on it. I grew up in Maine. We lived in a fairly decent neighbourhood, but the street behind our house wasn't in the best condition. Our backyard butted up to the condemned house adjacent to 2 abandoned lots. I became friends with a guy named Atlas who stayed in the condemned house. No one knew he was living there other than me. I used to take him food and clothes and stuff until my father found out. What'd he do? My jaw tightens. I don't know why I brought this up when I still force myself not to think about it on a daily basis. He beat him up. That's as naked as I want to get about that subject. Your turn. He regards me silently for a moment as if he knows there's more to that story, but then he breaks eye contact. The thought of marriage repulses me, he says. I'm almost 30 years old and I have no desire for a wife. I especially don't want children. The only thing I want out of life is success, lots of it. But if I admit that out loud to anyone, it makes me sound arrogant. I think because I've read the last page now, some lines are connecting, so that's why she's asking those questions about donating to charity, babies, if he wants to move. Because as much as she likes Mr. Ryle? Oh, you guys can hear the thing. If I do this. No. Sorry guys, I've got the PS on. I played like a couple matches. So, let me just... Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, it's been 30 minutes. I need to be quick. This is gonna cut out soon. Damn. We're only gonna get to one chapter, guys. I'm so sad. Because this is, like, I'm actually interested. Am I, like, on a level? Listening. So, hopefully it be quiet while I finish reading. Okay. He regards me silently for a moment, as if he knows there's more to that story, but then he breaks eye contact. The thought of marriage repulses me, he says. I'm almost 30 years old, and I have no desire for a wife. I especially don't want children. The only thing I want out of life is success. Lots of it. But if I admit that out loud to anyone, it makes me sound arrogant. Professional success or social status? He says, both. Anyone can have children. Anyone can get married, but not everyone can be a neurosurgeon. I get a lot of pride out of that. And I don't just want to be a great neurosurgeon, I want to be the best in my field. You're right, it does make you sound arrogant. He smiles. My mother fears I'm wasting my life away because all I do is work. You're a neurosurgeon and your mother is disappointed in you? I laugh. Good lord, that's insane. Are parents ever really happy with their children? Will they ever be good enough? He shakes his head. My children wouldn't be. Not many people have the drive I do, so I'd only be setting them up for failure. That's why I'll never have any. I actually think that's respectable, right? Ryle? I actually think that's respectable, Riley. Ryle. Riley. Ryle. Riley. Rye. A lot of people refuse to admit they might be too selfish to have children. He shakes his head. Oh, I'm way too selfish to have children. And I'm definitely way too selfish to be in a relationship. So how do you avoid it? You just don't date. He cuts his eyes to me, and there's a slight grin affixed to his face. When I have time, there are girls who satisfy those needs. I don't lack for anything in that department, if that's what you're asking. But love has never appealed to me. It's always been more of a burden than anything. I wish I looked at love like that. It would make life a hell of a lot easier. I envy you. I have this idea that there's a perfect man out there for me. I tend to become jaded easily, because no one ever meets my standards. I feel like I'm on an infinite search for the Holy Grail. You should try my method, he says, which is one night stands. He raises an eyebrow like it's an invitation. I'm glad it's dark because my face is on fire. I could never sleep with someone if I didn't see it going anywhere. I say this out loud, but my words lack conviction when I say it to him. He drags in a long, slow breath and then rolls onto his back. Not that kind of girl, huh? He says with a trace of disappointment in his voice. I match his disappointment. I'm not sure I'd even want to turn him down if he made a move. But I might have just thwarted that possibility. If you wouldn't sleep with someone you just met, his eyes meet again, exactly how far would you go? Sir. Stop dancing. I don't have an answer for that. I roll onto my back because the way he's looking at me makes me want to rethink one night stands. I'm not necessarily against them, I suppose. I've just never been propositioned for one by someone I would consider it with. Until now. I think. Is he even propositioning me? Yes, propositioning me. Wouldn't it be proposing? Or I would have never seen anyone. I don't know. I've always been terrible at flirting. He reaches out and grabs the edge of my lounge chair. In one swift move, and with very minimal effort, he drags my chair closer to him until it bumps his. My whole body stiffens. Yo! He's so close now, I can feel the warmth of his breath cutting through the cold air. If I were to look at him, his face would be mere inches from mine. See, now I have no idea, like, how they were sitting or positioned. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm actually confused. Right now, I'm just thinking they're sitting in front of each other and he's just gone like this. Like, dragged, like, the leg of the chair. And then it's like, weird. How far would you... Whoa. Wrong line. If I were to look at him, his face would be mere inches from mine. I refuse to look at him, because he'd probably kiss me and I'd know absolutely nothing about this guy. Wait, he'd probably kiss me and I know absolutely nothing about this guy, other than a couple of naked truths. But that doesn't weigh on my conscience at all when he rests a heavy hand on my stomach. Huh? What is this position? He brought closer. How far? Stomach? Girl, what? I'm confused. How far would you go, Lily? His voice is decadent, smooth. It travels straight to my toes. I don't know that whisper. No. His fingers begin to crawl towards the hem of my shirt. He begins to slowly inch it upward until the sliver of my stomach is showing. Oh, Jesus. Girl, no. This can't be my first introduction to today's corner. This is absolutely repulsive. No, it's not repulsive. It's scandalous, darling. It's giving. It's just a pee. I can't wait for Bridgerton season 3, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And we're almost in May. Okay. Oh Jesus, she whispers, feeling the warmth from his hand as he slides it up my stomach. Against my better judgment, I face him again, and the look in his eyes completely captivates me. He looks hopeful and hungry, and completely confident. He sinks his teeth into his bottom lip, and his hand begins to tease its way up my shirt. I know he can feel my heart thrashing around in my chest. Hell, he can probably hear it. Is this too far? He asks. I don't know where this side of me is coming from, but I shake my head and say, not even close. Lord! This cannot. No. X. No. This is not okay. This is not. No. Okay. How am I gonna? Okay. That's hilarious, though. Girl, do you know what you're getting yourself into? With a grin, his fingers brush the underneath of her bra, lightly trickling over my skin that is now covered in chills. As soon as my eyelids fall shut, the piercing of a ring rips through the air. Thank you, Jesus Christ. I was not no. His hands stiffen when we both realize it's a phone. Oh my God, phones exist again. His phone. He drops his forehead to my shoulder, damn it. I frown when his hand slips from beneath my shirt. He fumbles in his pockets for his phone, standing up and walking several feet away from me to take the call. Dr. Kincaid, he says. He listens intently, his hand gripping the back of his neck. What about Roberts? I'm not even supposed to be on call right now. More silence is followed with, yeah, give me 10 minutes, on my way. He ends the call and slides his phone in his back pocket. When he turns to face me, he looks a little disappointed. He points to the door and leads to the stairwell. I nod, it's fine. He considers me for a moment and then holds up a finger. Don't move, he says. Reaching for his phone again, he walks closer and holds it up as if he's about to snap a picture of me. I almost object, but I don't even know why. I'm fully clothed. It just doesn't feel that way for some reason. 'Cause you're just showing naked truths, girl. What do you think this was? He snaps a picture of me lying in the lounge chair, my arms relaxed above my head. That is a bit mad, though. Photos? Like, what are you doing, sir? You need a photo. I have no idea what he plans to do with that picture, but I like that he took it. I like that he had the urge to remember what I looked like, even though he knows he'll never see me again. He stares at the photo on his screen for a few seconds and smiles. I'm half tempted to take a picture of him in return, but I'm not sure I want to remember. I want a reminder of someone I'll never see again. The thought of that is a little depressing. Oh, we're at the end, guys! It was nice meeting you, Lily Bloom. I hope you defy the odds of most dreams and actually accomplish yours. I smile, equally saddened and confused by the sky. I'm not sure that I've ever spent time with someone like him before. Someone of a completely different lifestyle and tax bracket. I probably never will see again. I probably never will again. Jesus, but I'm pleasantly surprised to see that we aren't all that different. Misconception confirmed. He looks down at his feet for a moment as he stands in somewhat of an unsure pose. It's as if he's suspended between a desire to say something else to me and the need to leave. He glances at me one last time, this time without so much of a poker face. I can see the disappointment in the set of his mouth before he turns and walks in the other direction. He opens the door and I can hear his footsteps fade as he rushes down the stairwell. I'm alone on the rooftop once again, but to my surprise, I'm a little saddened by that now. Okay, chapter 1 done. Thoughts? Yeah, Wattpad, yeah. It's giving, yeah. I know what's coming, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of tears, a lot of annoyances, a lot of decision making that's gonna be like, why? I'm gonna be screaming, I'm gonna be irritated. And the fact that it's taken me, what, 3 hours to just read one chapter, I don't know. But I'm in for the ride. We buckling in. Like, yeah, let's get it, let's go. What else can I say? Do I like the main character? It's only been one chapter, I don't know yet. The little, okay, at first I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna be really cliche, and I keep like throwing that around, but so far not so. No, there has been quite a few, but I think some sentences have surprised me. I can't remember them, but when I was reading I was thinking like, okay, thank you for not being typical, but then it's followed with something typical. Mr. I just want to friends with benefits. That's what it's giving, friends with benefits. So Lily's gonna, okay, sorry, I'm all over the place. We've met Lily and Mr. Riley. I need to decide, I haven't decided what I'm gonna call him. I don't know if I'm gonna call him Riley, I don't know, Kincaid, Lily Bloom. Lily's a 23-year-old college, no, she's out of college. I don't know what to say. I'm happy. It ends with us. And then the second one is, it starts with, wait, is this the second book? Am I even reading the first book? The one who loves you the most hurts you the most. So who loves her the most? Atlas? Right? Her dad? So many questions that need to be answered, guys. Are you excited? I'm excited. Am I? It's about to get spicy, girl. But am I? I don't know. I don't know. You know, no guys, I did tell you guys I started reading 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't finish the second book. I didn't finish reading it. I think I'm like 6 chapters in and I had to give it a break because I'm like, they're doing way too much. And Anastasia always pissed me off, so it's just, I don't know if I'm going to finish that series, if I'm honest. And unfortunately, that's one. I don't think I can. This is a, let me just stop talking, we're jumping around. Guys, that was so fun. I miss reading a lot. Now I'm going to do something equally as fun, and that's my because I've been waiting all bloody day. So I'm going to play for a little, where's my, you are my phone. Let me see. I've got my laptop here. How do I exit this? Oh, it's 3 AM. I was about to say, I'm going to play for a couple hours. Baby, I'm going to bed in a couple hours. So, how about I do that? I'm going to play for, let's say, it's 3:22 right now. I need to do my hair tomorrow. I need to, yeah, that's my main goal for tomorrow, is to do my hair. Oh, bloody the thing. Yeah, my main goal for tomorrow is to do my hair and edit. I've neglected editing again, guys. Do you see what happens when you have stuff to do? You can't just waste your hours away. Like reading, that's gonna take me hours. If I start earlier, do you guys want an earlier start? Or should we do this every day? No. I think that I need to make this consistent so that I have something to look forward to, and then you guys have something to look forward to, and then we have something to look forward to, and then we can talk about it, and it'll be like, maybe not. I might be just dreaming and thinking too far ahead, as I usually do. But I'll take it each day as it comes. I'm gonna keep reading. We'll be back again tomorrow, maybe? Yeah, tomorrow's a chill day. We're not doing anything tomorrow. I don't need to leave the house, but I kind of do, because the stuff I want to get a mini whiteboard. I want to check for black clothes in TK Maxx, and I need to do my hair, and I don't want to do my hair, and my hair's literally going to take me all day. The last time I put my hair in mini braids, I was literally 12 hours to do my hair, and it didn't even look good. But I can't go another week with my hair out. I'm literally shedding like a dog. It's not a good look. But that's besides the point. It's 3:24. I'm gonna see you guys later for the next rendition of the internet. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy I started. Any other version of myself would have left it for another week or two, because technically I'm not ready. But we're ready, girl! And think about it, the camera stopped 3 bloody times. The universe was telling me we're not ready, but I made us ready. Yeah. Okay, that was fun. I'm gonna go now. Bye! See you next time.